Yep. Hey, True Believers England team here with the real Dr. Venkman. We're not going to see your lovely visage here. I'm all by myself here.
Not tonight.
Hop on,
but you can look at LK's for
there. We go. We got LK's lovely visage there. We got. How you doing, sir? What's up?
Volume's up.
Well, yeah, we can hear the echo a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't realize you'd already started the show. Hey, everybody.
Oh, no, we like literally just started the show. What's going on? This is going to be a hangout. We're going to have another hangout tomorrow, but a little bit different. Today, I wanted to address some of the worst things in comics for 2022. And tomorrow, it's going to be a best and worst. Hopefully, we'll have a nice conversation with the audience and everything. Let them tell us what their best and worst was. Let them ask us what we thought was the best and worst. But I figured let's rip on some comic books in 2022. Not even just comics. What's the worst thing that happened in comic books and in the industry? On the page, I've got is the thumbnail. I've got Tim Drake. Not only, of course, last year did they turn Tim Drake gay, even though he's had 30 years worth of history of dating girls like Stephanie Brown and Cassandra Cain, they decided, hey, you know what? We're going to make him not what he is. Now, I don't mind the Superman thing. Serious. Or Superboy, excuse me. But the worst thing that happened, I think, to Tim Drake was Riley Rosmo. As we see by the thumbnail, that's Riley Rosmo art. And not only that, but the writing is so freaking horrible in the Tim Drake book. It's I'm sorry, it's homophobic. It is absolutely it's wrong. It's the worst stereotypes. It's everything you don't want in a comic book about any kind of minority. Have either of you read this book?
No, I've purposely avoided it. Mm-hmm. Partially because of the Riley Rosmo art. I just have zero interest in it. And, I mean, I would say, just to go along with that, I would say one of the worst things of 2022 in general is just characterization. I can't think of a single character that was improved in 2022 among the big two.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're watching in with us, both of you right now, I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling so freaking rejected. Thanks, guys. I was just talking to RDV. Here's one worst thing. Did I offend anybody? I put out a post and we have a DM, and you guys will be like, hey, look at this weird meme, and it's like 6-hour conversation. I put a post and it stops everything dead. And it's like, shit, is he trying to talk to us again? Nobody responds. What the?
I guess I passed that on to you. So finally,
nobody responds to shit on the DM. Oh my gosh, my wife is nothing. It would be nothing going on.
You know what it is? It's called sports bunk in comic books. You should just post like something sports related, and you'll get LK and Breen.
Well, that helps. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that would have to happen. I'll talk about how the Bucks, what's gone wrong with the Buccaneers. But yeah, that's one of the worst, because I'm like, okay, well, everybody's got
I'll drop like 6 posts in there, and then like maybe one person replies back.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. So One Slick Dude, I did not see your comment in the last video. I've posted a couple on the movie channel, or was it a video on this channel?
Can you tell us which video was he posted on?
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to talk about some of this stuff. The Robin thing it's gotten bad. And you're right about the characterization. I mean, one of the things I was looking forward to most was a book that came out earlier this year, and it was called The One Star Squadron. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is kind of cool. Here's a book that really kind of focuses on the lower tiered heroes, or even some of the mid-tier heroes that don't have books right now. So what do when they're not called to adventure? And I was like, wow, this could be cool. And Mark Russell can be really good when he writes. I liked Snagglepuss. I hate that Jesus superhero book that he makes.
I like Snuffleupagus.
It's not that. Yeah. What did I say I liked?
Snagglepuss.
No, Snagglepuss.
I know. I'm just.
You said Snuffle. Wait, that wasn't even a book. That's Sesame Street. Yeah, it was Snagglepuss. Yeah, I like
being a pill.
But this 1-star squadron was just, hey, I got an idea. Let's make all these characters just look bad. Let's do that. Let's not pay attention to any kind of reverence for them. Let's just beat the shit out of the DC universe because these characters are bad. And unfortunately, under the hands of modern day comic book artists and writers, it really looks that way.
Oh yeah, there's really big changes. Look at how they treated Guy Gardner, Tom King again, of course, in Human Target. And,
yeah.
Please, that was horrible. I'm not even reading the book, but I can feel the hatred for Guy from Tom King, who also was the guy who did Heroes in Crisis, where he screwed over Wally. Now he screwed over Guy. He just hates gingers.
Well, I mean, once again, it's Tom Taylor with the Human Target. It's Tom Taylor trying to be Alan Moore.
Oh, is it Taylor? I thought it was Tom King.
Or Tom King, sorry.
I was going to say, they're the same. Who cares?
Yeah, they're both so interchangeable to me now. But yeah, Tom King. I mean, it's him trying to be Alan Moore. I mean, if you look at his Human Target, it's like trying to be his Watchmen, where he takes another group of characters and, distorts them. But he has 1/10 the writing talent and skill of Alan Moore, which is why it's such an awful book. Whereas, especially for, longtime comic fans and stuff, you can complain what Moore did, with, the Charlton or, pseudo Charlton characters in Watchmen, but it still at least was a compelling read. Human Target is none of that. And it doubly ticked me off because I liked the previous Vertigo Human Target book. It was excellent. I want to say, was it Milligan? I'm blanking on who wrote it back in the day. And so to see what he did with Christopher Chance, just ugh.
Yeah. Jim's agreeing with me there, saying I thought it was just standard bad until they had Power Girl of all characters complaining that she wanted her life being a superhero, that she wasted her life. Excuse me. Yeah. The 1-star squadron, not good. Hitman, I got to admit, I only read the Guy Gardner gets killed issue. That's it. That's the only one I read. I was not compelled to. And there's a lot of books that are like this, where like I'll pick up that one issue or a couple of issues, and then I'm sorry, I gotta walk away from this. I started doing that with movies now as well. I used to go to the theater and I'll see anything. Now, when you go to the theater, you pay your money, you're going to sit through it. But now with all the streaming services, it seems like you got the option of this movie sucks, click, so it's a lot easier.
Well, yeah, look at DC.
Oh my God, Twiddles is transparent.
He is.
With the DC Dead Universe movies coming out now, they're all being rebooted. I'll just wait till they hit the streaming platform.
Yeah. Well, it was like I looked at what was in the theaters around me, here this weekend, and I'm going like, there's nothing I want to go to the theater and see. The only one I kind of had an interest in was Babylon, but then I've read such negative reviews on it.
And you saw my video review?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that.
By the way, we did start a movie channel. Me and Dalton. Dalton sometimes appears on it. He's, but I did a review of Babylon, and my first thought of the review, but then it just, it's too much work. Was going to have both kind of, because I liked it and hated it all at the same time. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot to like. There's a lot to hate in it. It was a very self-indulgent movie, but the thing is, and this is the truth of the matter. When I was thinking, wait a second, what happened in that scene? I turned on the movie and then I was captivated again. Like I just kept watching it. So I was like, I guess I've got to kind of lean on a positive side on this. this movie is a lot of movie. I don't know if it's the best movie of the year, but it most definitely is the most movie of the year. That's Babylon for you. Ow, you bitch. Get off my shit.
I want to back up. Okay, I'm looking what's around right now. Babylon's out, Avatar, Way of the Water.
That was
Puss in Boots, I heard, was actually really good.
Puss in Boots is fun. Yes, I watched that the other night. Supposedly, me and Dalton, he got sick. We're supposed to do animated, the best of animation. So I started catching up. I'm as soon as we get off here, I'm actually working on. I'm going to be working on the video for it. Got the list of all the animated films I've seen and all.
Yeah. So the other movies are the Black Panther sequel, which I just never even saw the first one. I just don't care for Black Panther and just all that stuff. It has nothing to do with race. I'm not Zach. I just never really cared about going to watch a Black Panther movie and then hearing about what they did to Namor and just like or Namor, whatever they want to call it now.
Yeah, Namor.
The Menu looks like it's a Netflix movie.
That is awesome. I love The Menu. Dalton hated it. I loved it. Germans will be bombing Pearl Harbor and donkeys will be violated by E in this live stream. Thank you very much.
Violent Night is a movie I just come across on the Blockbuster wall.
Violent Night is awesome, by the way. The movie I want to see, the movie I am going to see Sunday is The Whale. That's like one of the last movies of the year. And then starting on Monday, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I said, you know what? I don't want to do a top 10. I want to talk about everything because I really didn't review a lot of movies this year. So
I heard that The Whale is going to be their biggest movie for A24.
Probably.
It already is, I believe.
Yeah. It's a whale.
Yeah. So there you go. But hey, that's this. We're having a hangout, guys. We're going to be talking about the worst in comics. But in any hangout, as you know, we're going to talk about whatever the hell. So there you go.
Hey, just real quick to kind of bring it back, since you started talking about, Tim Drake, Robin, I think one big failure too this year is I think they had an opportunity to completely redefine in a positive way the Tim Drake character. And what I mean by that is, right now you've got two Robins running around. And, everybody I still think right now is thinking more that, Damian is Robin. I mean, he had the solo book, for 2+ years, and he was the Robin in the Batman and Robin book. So I think more that he's getting pushed, obviously as Robin. So here's an opportunity to redefine, give Tim Drake a new role, let him strike out on his own, come up with a new costume, basically, do his version of Nightwing. And, again, the fact that they have completely botched it, A, is not a surprise, but B, at the same time, is a disappointment.
Yeah. I did not. I can't read another issue of Robin. I read the first issue. I'm done. Holy crap! Did I aim for somebody? I thought, and I got Jim. Sorry, Jim.
I was gonna say, you're really triggered by somebody calling it Ferngully too.
Oh, was that Jim? Okay, so he deserved it. Alrighty, yes, yeah, I am. Yes. Okay, you know what? I'm. As Maranya said, let's bomb those freaking Germans. Here you go. No, I'm not fucking taking it anymore. I'm not hearing it. One, it's not original. Two, I'm out of focus. Get in the fucking focus already. God damn it. I've got to turn off the background here. But no, I'm sorry. That's not going to be the line we're drawing. Fern Gully is not going to be the fucking movie that can't be remade. For fuck's sake, Babylon is singing in the goddamn rain with debauchery. It's the same fucking movie. In order to get ready to make the animated list here, one of the films I watched was Paws of fucking Fury, Blazing Saddles. You're going to choose fucking Fern Gully over Blazing Saddles? No, shut the fuck up about Avatar being Fern Gully. Fern Gully is shit. It was a bad movie. Please, somebody remake Ferngully.
Wow, I actually like Ferngully. Thank you very much.
I was a goddamn projectionist. I had to see it way too many fucking times. It sucked. It's not the movie we're drawing a fucking line on, all right? Barbed wire, Casablanca with tits. You're not mad. Nobody said, oh, well, fuck barbed wire because it's Casablanca with tits. No, it's Fern fucking Gully that everybody's defending. Fuck, what the honest hell, man? Seriously.
Triggered old man. So every Ferngully 2 from now
every
on.
goddamn time. I'm sorry, but it's not the movie. That's not the movie to draw the fucking line on. Every goddamn, there's so many movies that are just this movie redone. Oh, but you know, for fuck's sake, we're geeks, right? Everybody loves the original Star Wars. Welcome to the Hidden Fortress. Every fucking movie. But no, Akira Kurosawa isn't as fucking good as Ferngully. We got to go after that one. We got to protect that goddamn movie. Jesus, Lord and Christ. No, I'm sorry, and it's not original.
Yes, thank you, Trusty.
Okay. Time out. First off, who is defending Ferngully?
Every fucking time Avatar gets brought up, Dances with Wolves.
Comparison.
Dances with Wolves. Dances with Wolves is a more appropriate comparison. But every goddamn time Avatar is brought up, somebody needs to say it.
Just Ferngully.
And somebody has to say it like it's their own goddamn thought when it's been memed up and down the street for 13 fucking years.
You ever think of that? Just you disagree? Maybe they agree. It's like Ferngully.
Ferngully is not the greatest goddamn movie.
No one ever said it was. I don't like Avatar.
Oh my Lord in heaven! I love you, Jim. I love you, but that's actually why I did that, because I was like, I'm not gonna get triggered today. I'm not gonna get triggered.
You're tilting in a windmill that doesn't exist.
It does every goddamn time. Every goddamn time anybody mentions
Ferngully.
Every goddamn time somebody brings up Avatar, someone's got to bring up Ferngully and Dances with Wolves. Now, Dances with Wolves, awesome freaking movie. But why the fuck is Ferngully brought up like it's some sort of sacred cow that can't be remade?
It's not a sacred.
I agree, but it's treated that way.
It's a way to laugh at Avatar and laugh at James Cameron and his.
It's treated that way. Who fucking cares? I'll tell you what. You know what? Avatar's a better freaking Ferngully than Ferngully is.
It's just a longer Ferngully. It is with more
Jesus
graphics.
Christ. And since I'm on the subject, look the fuck up a lot of action films, okay, of the 2000s. All right, everything has a MacGuffin, and do you know what the MacGuffin was called all throughout? I mean, from 2000 all the way up to 2010, it was called fucking unobtainium. Avatar didn't make that shit up. Watch a goddamn movie. Holy shit. Hallelujah. Where's the Tylenol?
I agree with Omar Harris. Nobody saw barbed wire as being like, I guess I misread his sake, but barbed wire is not a great movie. We just got
it isn't. It's Casablanca with tits. I mean, seriously.
Well, I mean, we just got to see barbed wire, or Pamela Anderson topless. That's what we went there for.
Well, don't forget that Martin Scorsese won his only Best Picture Oscar for a remake.
A remake, of a Japanese movie.
And I'll stand on my hill right here and I'd say
triggered.
I'll put on my nerd.
I hope me and Jim are still friends. I really, I was like, I can't be.
You just block the guy.
That Infernal Affairs is a better movie than The Departed, but
the other thing is that
I can't
you
block that.
You block really the guy who bids on your auctions.
I know, right? In all honesty, I thought it was Rhaegar.
Oh wow!
Well, Rhaegar knows he trolls, and I thought he was. And I really did. I saw it, and I saw the thing. I actually thought it was Rhaegar, and Rhaegar does troll. And I figured, okay, it's Rhaegar. He'll understand. It's all a joke and everything.
Yeah,
but there you go.
I used to think that Rhaegar was actually FRAGMINION undercover, just because he kind of trolling he does the whole time.
Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, oh shit, I got Jim. I thought I was tagging Rhaegar, and it was Jim.
I saw that. I saw you timed. I'm like, who got timed out? I was like, oh, he timed out Jim.
Nobody
I
saw
was like,
Bar,
oh, there goes
Avatar.
your money.
Yeah, let's let V get in a word edge. I'm ranting. That's all. Let's see. Maranya saying I finally saw the Guardians holiday special. It hit me in the feels. Right? It does. It's actually pretty cool. I need to hear from Jim, man. I feel so bad.
Well, I think he's still got another minute
or so. I know that has happened in the past too, because sometimes the person I do want it, like I do want to put in a timeout or something, and a comment will come in, and I actually hit the person below him. Whoops, sorry about that, Jim. But there you go. That's a rant of the night.
Jim,
I just don't understand it.
Make him sweat during the auction.
I don't understand it. And by the way, Avatar 2 is a lot of fun. It is, in my opinion, better than the original. Thoroughly entertaining. I had a blast with it. But then again, I'm not one of the ones that went off on the original Avatar. I like that as well. So yeah, it's just it was an entertaining film. I didn't see Avatar on the big screen until it was re-released. Thank you, Jim.
I'm probably the only person here that thinks that Casablanca is overrated. I prefer Dark Passage and other movies he did.
I don't know who you are.
I'm the guy who likes Fern Gully over Avatar.
There you go.
Next, you're going to tell me that Citizen Kane isn't the greatest movie ever made.
Oh, I'll just say I can't. I've never watched it.
I don't think that Citizen Kane is the greatest movie ever made.
No, I think
I don't even think it's the best Orson Welles. As a matter of fact, as far as Orson Welles is concerned, I would put A Touch of Evil and oh goodness gracious, what is it?
Well, Jim, if you're easy,
Harry Lime. Harry Lime.
Oh God! Now you're making.
I know, right?
I've only got like 3 copies of it downstairs. I want to.
I can see him in the tunnel right now.
North by Northwest?
No, that's Cary Grant. Somebody's gonna tell us.
Well, except though, I mean, it's not. Orson Welles didn't direct it though. That's directed by Carol Reed.
Yeah, but it's Third Man. Thank you. It is such a great performance.
Jim's saying that he's easy. Yeah, Jim, how easy are you? Because we accept super chats.
Because I'm easy. No,
you
it's good. Like you said, Jim, I can't afford to lose bidders at the auction anymore. But
I'm with Jim. Yeah,
no, he was still an actor in it, and that was pretty good. I like Third Man. I like Touch of Evil better than Citizen Kane. Now, but here, let me defend Citizen Kane from me. When I first saw Citizen Kane, and it kind of set in this, I had heard, well, he came up with this and he came up with that, and he really did. There's a lot of camera angles. There's a lot of usage of space, negative space, and he really pushed movie making forward. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like talking about how awesome the Batman animated series is. But then if you look at Justice League, the animation's just so much better because it's 15 years down the line, or 10, whatever. The point being is that by the time I got to Citizen Kane, all those tricks that he used had become commonplace. So, okay, it wasn't as impressive from me. Then it becomes a drama. How's the acting? How's the dialogue? You know, how it's just a movie by the time you get to the 1980s, 1990s. And to me, it was a very slow-paced movie. So I don't hate Citizen Kane. I actually like Citizen Kane. But I don't put it as the best film of all time. That is Son-in-Law starring Pauly Shore. Yes, best film of all time.
Valid points. I had a much different experience with it. First time I saw it was in college, so I think I was probably like around 19 or so. And again, I mean, one of the things that I remember sticking out even at that point in time was going like, oh wait, I've seen this scene before. I've seen this because it's been referenced or parodied, you know, or stolen outright in so many other things, you know. And so I mean, it became kind of this cultural touchstone in terms of a lot of ways. I mean, again, I mean, if you want a great example, is go watch the great Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns runs for governor. I mean, it's basically
Kane,
the whole governor scene from a portion of Citizen Kane.
To answer Jim Sorensen, no, Orson Welles was never in a Hitchcock film. Now, you want to talk about something I know about? It's Hitchcock movies. I worked at the attraction at Universal Studios, and I worked there because I love Alfred Hitchcock movies. I've seen everything that's available, even his propaganda war, his war propaganda films. He made 2 of them, and for some reason the titles are Leave. I actually had them on DVD for a while, and they were like prized possessions. I sold them like a dumbass. Probably I can't find them anymore. I had everything that was available. Some of his movies were lost in a fire back in the day of silent film. They were, I think they were made on nitrate film. So yeah, as a matter of fact, in the
highly flammable.
Yeah, in the original Man Who Knew Too Much, a bomb is made out of film. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, I love Alfred Hitchcock films. I've had them all, seen everything available more than once. I know there's some that are weaker than others, and I think his style by the time he made Family Plot, by the time he made that one, his style was a little bit outdated. He was very much old Hollywood, but still, I liked Family Plot. It just, but I had the benefit of seeing it years after it had been released, alongside of stuff like The Confession and Marathon Man and all kinds of stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah. Now, do you prefer his earlier British work or later?
No. I mean, there's some good stuff. Young and Innocent, I highly recommend that. Of course, the 39 Steps, a lot of people know about.
Sabotage.
I love Sabotage. But in all honesty, I do like his Hollywood stuff better. Give me the Cary Grants, give me the Jimmy Stewarts. I do think it sucks that his only Best Picture win was Rebecca, because that Oscar didn't go to Alfred Hitchcock. Mm-hmm. The Oscar for Best Picture always goes to the producers, not the director. Alfred Hitchcock never actually won a Best Director Oscar. He did, however, get a Lifetime Achievement Award, which his speech, when he went up, he said, "You, Hollywood." No, actually, all he just went, "Thank you." And then he walked off stage. That was it. And it's just, that's why I never buy into things like, "Oh, Leo deserves an Oscar." Why? Is he better than Alfred Hitchcock? That's my answer to everything. Whenever, "Oh, he deserves it." Why? Is he better than Alfred Hitchcock? Because the answer is freaking no. So yeah, anytime I hear that, that's all I could think of is Alfred Hitchcock didn't get an Oscar. Nobody deserves an Oscar. That's just the way it is. But there you go.
Yeah. Well, here's a fun hot take for you. Orson Welles was his era's James Cameron, except better.
All right. I'm good with that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of the pioneering film techniques that Wells developed and refined. I mean, you talk about Touch of Evil. It has one of the greatest, single shot scenes.
You talking about the window
in cinema history? No, I'm talking about the single tracking shot in the beginning of Touch of Evil. Where we go across the Mexican border and the car blows up, and then we're introduced.
Yeah, but now we get Children of Men, which is an entire film that's made to look like one single track shot.
Right, made to look like one single track shot.
But even still, with one single track shot, you got, what was it, Nicolas Cage, Snake Eyes. Mm-hmm. That entire thing, all the way down, all the way through the hotel, everything, one shot. R.I.P. Barbara Walters, quite a few celebs passed the... Oh, really? She passed away. Wow.
Yeah. That must have... That happened today?
I guess. MK just mentioned it here.
Well,
hey, Ahsoka, what's up?
I'll look it up because MK has done this before where he says RIP to someone we found out they're still alive.
I've been listening to the Radio Classics channel. So many remade for radio. I used to have those on cassette when I was doing my paper route. I would bring along old time radios. Oh, by the way, I say paper route, but yeah, those things paid money.
All
back
right,
in
so
the day.
so she died. It was released an hour ago. They released it. That she died.
Okay.
93 years old.
Yeah, she was up there.
Yeah. Well, and you know, she had. I can't remember. I don't remember seeing her in public
for a long time.
In the last year, at least.
I think she showed up on The View once and then disappeared and said, so "Hey, Whoopi, say some stupid shit."
Well, it makes sense. She's stubborn. She outlasted Connery after that interview.
Yeah. Sometimes a woman just needs to get a slap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since you know we're talking about people that have passed. I mean, one of the worst things this year in comics is the number of creators that we lost.
Well, you can't stop there.
Well, I mean, you start with George Perez and Tim Sale. I mean,
Carlos Pacheco, I think it was.
Carlos Pacheco. God, I'm blanking. Who did Extraordinary Gentleman with Alan Moore?
There's the guy who did Long Halloween. What's his name?
Well, that was Tim Sale.
Tim Sale. He died this year too.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the guy you're thinking of.
Thanks, Maranya. Neil Adams. I mean, just I hate saying a who's who, but
Yeah, we did. I went to a eulogy at the comic convention. I actually bust my ass to get there too, and it was. I'm glad I got up and got a chance to speak at it and everything, but in all honesty, I was hoping it would be more of a celebration of his career. Mm-hmm. It really was a wake. It was depressing. I tried, like, hey guys, all of his stuff. There's something out there, George Perez, and I'll say this about Neil Adams and there's stuff out there by these awesome creators who passed that you have not read yet. I'm willing to bet money that there's something, especially George Perez. George Perez had put his pen to damn near every character in both Marvel and DC. So there's something out there that you have not seen by them too. Kevin Conroy, Jim Sorensen says.
Yep.
It's a main comic related death that I'll truly miss.
That's definitely a tough one. Yeah. I mean, because for multiple generations, I mean, he is the voice of Batman. Yeah.
I one thing I like about Conroy and not just Conroy, but the love for Kevin Conroy is that when anybody would say, who's the best Batman? George Clooney, Michael Keaton, Adam West. And they were obviously talking about live action movie Batman. Somebody inevitably would go Kevin Conroy. Now, he was never live action Batman until the Crisis crossover, but who freaking cares?
There's quite a few of them that died this year.
He was in the he was on the video games. He had Mask of the Phantasm, if you want to say movie Batman. So god dang, he really did. He sounded, he just really, just with his voice, he embodied Batman for a lot of people.
I'll admit something hilarious. For the longest time until I saw a picture of him, I don't know how it got in my head. I must have got him confused with another voice actor. I thought he was black.
Really?
So
and I did not know that until I saw a picture. I mean, years later, it was like, oh, that's who Kevin Conroy is. Okay.
What? There are at least 22 comic related deaths this year. Artists.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Name the at least the big. Nah, go on ahead.
I'll go.
We'll do our in memoriam if you want to read them off.
Well, actually, why don't you put it in the scroll? As it goes by.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Much like the Oscars, you start naming off the dead, the people who died, and we'll have an interpretive dance to make sure that it's that it's completely undermined. Did you see the Oscars this year with their in memoriam? That's exactly what happened.
No, I did not.
They did the usual picture with the what they were, you know, if they're an actor or a cinematographer or whatever. So, but instead of making that the focus, they had these dancers and they were singing and they were waving their arms. I'm like, no, it's supposed to be we're remembering the dead. Okay, come on.
All right.
Go ahead.
Now this guy's comic book adjacent. Robert Bruce. He was from Comic Book Man. Died this year in January. Also, Tony Tallarico for Lobo. Yeah, okay. He was an artist on there. He passed away in January as well. Shinji Mitsushima was a manga artist for Yakuyu. I can't pronounce it anyway. Yeah, right. Yeah. Dokaben, and I guess some other stuff. But then you had Orlando Pacino, Archie Comics. 95 years old. Guy, and then what is this one? Guy Minix. It's hard. I guess he's a manga artist. They had Ron Goulart, American comics writer. Does this say what he was? He did. I guess he was a daily cartoonist guy.
Goulart. I think he also ghost wrote / co-authored the Tech War.
After Things.
Shatner
was one, I think. Indian comic artists for Honda, and I can't pronounce these, man. I need to eat a black cat for some of these names. Narayan Dabaneth. There's a French comic book artist for Valerian. Jean-Claude Maisuriz died.
I actually read some Valerian books after the movie came out. I mean,
now I'm surprised you guys love Gotham by Gaslight. Do you remember who died? Brian Augustine. That was this year.
Oh.
Ian Kennedy. Yeah.
I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Ian Kennedy, British comic artist for Dan Dare, died in February. There's a lot of Japanese manga artists.
Well, that's right. Didn't the creator of Berserk die this year?
I don't know. I'll probably get there, but yeah. This is Kazuyoshi Tori. He's an artist. Mino Milani was an Italian comic artist, 94 years old. Mel Kiefer for Mac Divitt. He's an American cartoonist. Bill Woodman was another one that died. Then we had Tom Vetch.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So Miguel Gardel, Spanish comic writer for Makoki. So I apologize, anybody who's Italian. Paulo, you should be here.
Maranya's going to get on to you now.
I know. I'm going to kill this guy later. All right. So Antonio Seguri was an Argentine cartoonist, American cartoonist. Dick Giordano?
Giardino?
No. This is Kirk. He's a satirical former free press cartoonist.
Oh, okay.
Mia Ikumi for Tokyo Mumu. He's a manga artist. He died. He's only 42 years old. Then we had Fred DeWitt, Belgian painter and comic artist for Marnix van Samarti. Stan Mott for Absolute Alliance. Eric. Wow, why are these such 14-letter names? Belgian cartoonist for Jim Lont. It's Eric Van de... I can't pronounce it. Barajo Balzano, Italian cartoonist for Zora. Judge Dredd, Miracle Man comic book artist, Gary Leach. Matu Abiko, Doraemon was his manga. And then Stilo Frenzo, Italian comic artist for Jungola. Calvi, French cartoonist for D. Astrobald. Marco Innocenti, Italian comic writer for artist for Captain Fox. Mio Morao, Japanese manga artist. Justin Green for Pinky Brown Meets the Holy Virgin Mary.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking. There's like 50.
Yeah, I've found at least yeah.
Where'd you look this up at?
I just typed it in. I just typed
comic book creators who died. Yeah, there's there are quite a few. The Gary Leach you mentioned.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen so you can just look at these because there's a lot.
Justin Green, Neil Adams, of course.
I'm butchering these names.
Yeah, you are. It's okay, man. Duckman, Everett Peck died. Holy shit! Yeah, Tim Sale, of course. We know about him. So Alan freaking Grant, man. Alan Grant was a big writer on Judge Dredd. Yeah,
I'll start at the top here. There's 91, actually.
Okay, yeah, I just found your list.
No need to go through 91. The 91, but
I'm going through the ones I recognize. You know, Ron Foreman from Comics Unlimited. Then we have what's he here? Vince Carbata, Journey of the Mystery, Strange Tales.
Vince Carbata, is he I thought that sounds like that.
Yeah, he died in November.
Yeah, well, as it says, I mean, one of the last surviving artists that worked for Marvel in the 50s.
Yep. We also had Jason David Frank on here too. And then we have the Japanese voice actor for Ronin Warriors, Kyoki Yanada. Greg Bear, American science fiction writer for Star Wars, 71, dead of a stroke. Marcus Sedgwick for Dark Satanic Mills. You've heard of that? Make my screen a little bigger. You guys can look at
the people we made famous in the 70s and 80s. They're getting up there, guys.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Carlos Pacheco, Revenge is Forever, 6 years old. You know. Yep. Then you had French Arthur, illustrator. Danny Glulidani for Captain America, inker.
Yeah.
Filipino.
Kevin O'Neill. That's who I was thinking of. That one kind of hurt a lot too. I mean, his stuff was so fantastic.
Oh my gosh, Robert the Bruce from the Comic Book Men too.
Yep. That's when I said.
Wow. Yeah, that's something.
He was found in this hotel room where I guess
in a New Jersey storage facility, according to the report. Was found Friday at the City Center Plaza professional record storage facility in Red Bank after his family did not hear from him for several days. So the man was probably looking for some stuff and just passed away. Something like that. Wow. So many have passed on, and look who they replaced them with. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, we take a dark subject there. Indie Comic Jones makes it a little bit darker.
Kim Jung-ji, the comic book artist, the one I was doing all the fancy covers for Marvel. He recently passed. Belgian comic book artist for animator for SpongeBob Comics. Didn't know they had one over there, I guess. Let me know if you see anybody recognize names.
Well, I'm thinking
Tom Palmer.
That's a big one in our world, and of course, I mean, definitely,
Well, there you go.
Pour out a hey for Ron Zimmerman.
Yep. Paul Coker from Mad Magazine.
Nichelle Nichols from Star Trek.
Alan Grant.
So it really is just William Shatner and Takai right now. Right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. Here's the Yu-Gi-Oh guy talking about the guy I think you're talking about before. He drowned. 6 years old. Tim Sale, Everett Peck for Duckman. Yeah.
That is something.
George Perez, Neil Adams, James Bama for Doc Savage. Yeah. Gary Leach. He said, "Here's that name I was trying to pronounce before. I couldn't. I can't pronounce it."
Yeah, quite a few. Alan Grant wrote a lot of Batman, says Undead Quinn. The boomers are starting to croak. Yeah.
Well, man. Tom Vetch, the guy who comic writer for Animal Man.
At some point in time, we're going to be hearing stuff like John Byrne and Chris Claremont and
YouTubers who died this year.
Oh yeah, Walter Koenig. Thank you, Maranya.
Yeah. Ian Kennedy. Yes, it Dan for Dan Derry. Brian Augustine. He was an editor and writer. So yeah, that was one. So
yeah.
And then Robert Bruce at the end here. So that's what we have for people who died this year.
That is something.
Pour out your
okay. So
on that happy note.
On that happy note, let's talk about bad comics and such.
Well, sure, let's get even more depressed.
Bring up something, and if you guys have in the chat, if you have something that you want us to talk about or you want to mention, go on ahead. I would like to point out, because we talked about the Robin thing. We kind of touched on the Hitman and the Young Justice thing.
So,
but does anyone else remember a Batman story that had Batman look at looters and go, they deserve it?
Batman Fortress, yes.
Let me go over here. Yeah, or the fact that they had basically Lex Luthor calling all Republicans terrorists, and that it'd be okay if we got nuked.
The biggest book that dropped, Fall from Grace, that was the best, was Catwoman, because she took over Tini Howard in January of this year.
Ram V to Tini Howard,
and basically plunged that straight to the ground like an airplane that just busted off the rear wing.
Yeah, she had her Catwoman sleep with this other dude and kind of humiliate Bruce in one of her issues, and then there's a new Catwoman. It's Ekiel, her friend from the New 52, is now the new Catwoman. Selina Kyles is in jail.
So now not only is Tini Howard a terrible writer,
yes,
but now she's actually
borrowing
a storyline from Daredevil.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
Well, actually, she's just kicking the white girl, putting her in jail, and putting the woman of color in there. You know, she's putting.
Yeah. It's gotten ridiculous. That kind of stuff's gotten ridiculous. The what gets me is and going back to the Batman. What was it called? Batman Fortress.
Yeah.
All you got to do is write the characters the way the characters are. We've gotten a confession that they decided, well, we're going to put ourselves into it. Tom Taylor flat out said that John Kent is his mouthpiece. He's writing. Tom Taylor's writing Tom Taylor if Tom Taylor was a teenage boy in tights. They've been going right all along with everything without anybody saying, no, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I thought the Batman book you were going to mention was it the Tom King miniseries, the young Bruce Wayne, where we find out, because that was in 2022, wasn't it?
Some of it was. I think it started around because I remember
the whole did Bruce have a gay relationship with the
ghost?
With his partner?
The Chip Zdarsky one? No, there was no.
Or was that Zdarsky? Okay,
Zdarsky, and it was
they all run together at this point.
Sure.
Well, that's the thing. You could just say,
the panel was taken out of context too.
You could just say it's basically way too many Bat books in 2022, to the point where they don't matter. It truly doesn't matter. Undead Quinn is saying Poison Ivy just sucked. The second half just dropped like a rock.
G. Will Wilson, first time reading it was great because she was murdering people. Something I haven't seen her done in forever, and she wasn't hanging out with Harley Quinn.
Them putting Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy together was the worst thing for Poison Ivy.
Yeah. Well, and since we're bringing up mentioned Harley Quinn, of course, one of the other comic book worst was, well, anybody paying T. Franklin to write any book.
Yeah. But
allowing her to basically just create an absolute trash fire with this the Harley Quinn, based off the cartoon series. And then of course adding in the disabled self-insert character in that one page where, she basically invites Vixen into the limo and just
she turns into the giraffe, so she's got the long tongue.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I had forgotten that had been burned out of my mind until you brought that up, and now I'll need some bleach again.
Yeah, it wasn't a great moment for DC Comics.
No, it really hasn't. The good DC books have been few and far between.
I've been enjoying some of the stuff, and I know if you're anti-multiverse, you're not going to like anything. There's offensively bad books, but Dark Christ was a hit and miss with certain things.
Does anybody care? I mean, seriously, in this group now, Venkman's got a show where he always talks about new books, so I know he's reading damn near everything. But in the do you read new books anymore in the chat? And did you care about the fact that both Marvel and DC had about what, four big events this year? How many were there? I know we had Dark Crisis is the recent one that's going on.
Yes, that's the one that came on. Before that was Future State.
Okay. Did anybody really care about it?
Again, the problem is there's so many large events, mini events. I mean, one event book that I enjoyed was the Batman one where Deathstroke killed Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, okay. Shadow War.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the ending didn't fully stick the landing, but I enjoyed it partially because I enjoyed kind of the lead up by reading the Joshua Williamson Robin book, with Damian Wayne, fighting on the island, which basically is, as I like to say, was as close to a manga as any American comic book is going to get.
Did they rewrite Battle Royale?
No. No, it wasn't Battle Royale per se.
Or was it Mortal Kombat?
Closer to Mortal Kombat. Yeah. But I mean, it was Lazarus Island. God, I'm having trouble thinking here.
Welcome.
Yeah, that was really good, and so for the most part, I liked that event. But otherwise, again, we've got event fatigue because so many of them just run together and there are zero stakes.
Let's see. Most of all the new books I actually bought this year were indies with a sprinkling of DC. I wish I read more. I'm sorry, guys, but I just didn't. I couldn't find it in me.
Well, again, I mean, good or bad. I mean, this is where, because of my move and stuff, that I haven't ordered books in 2 or 3 months from DCBS, and it's been fine. And I've basically got a short box of new books that I have not touched yet. So I mean, I've got plenty of stuff to read if I ever get around to it.
Marvel and DC. Marvel, I'm still buying the Daredevils. I probably might stop soon. Who knows? But Marvel, I'm buying the older writers who are coming back and writing stories. That take place in between the stuff. I'm reading Extreme X-Men right now by Chris Claremont and LaRocca, and it's awesome.
I told my comic shop that's what I want to get. I'm more interested in those, the Fantastic Four one, the I don't know if Spider-Man Black's still a thing, but give me, what was that? The X-Men Legends thing, although
X-Men Legends.
That long shot story sucked.
So now they're doing Bishop. Came out this week. Mm-hmm. Was the new and I forgot what the writer was.
It's better than the long shot story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the most part, those are usually just like 2-issue arcs from the creative team. So, it rotates through pretty quickly. I was going to mention too, I mean, of course, the end of the year here, they did your girl pretty badly there. If you've seen the latest art.
What?
Starfire.
Oh yeah. They totally, just the art alone, you can tell they don't understand the character.
Yeah.
Which book?
It's whatever some upcoming book, or maybe it came out this week.
Because they've been drawing her fine in the Titans United Blood Pact.
Yeah,
which is a better version of the show that's coming right now. It's on right now.
Yeah, well, so I mean, the thing that everybody was getting on is the fact they're giving her this new costume, and it's basically like a full bodysuit.
Oh yeah, because for a woman who absorbs the sunlight for her powers.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing for me on that one was the face was terrible. Sure. I couldn't believe how bad the face looked. It was awful, and especially the fact of the way too that the whole face and head just kind of blended into the hair. I mean, it was, again, you talk about Riley Rosmo level art. It was not good, and I know some people are also commenting too, I think, on like how her left hand was crooked or reversed or something on it. I mean, you know, again, it's one of those things where we point out, it's like, where are the editors? Because any decent editor, especially ones we grew up with, would have gotten that artwork.
Jim Shooter
gone back and said, no, you need to redo the face, redo the hand, do this, do that. And instead they just gave it a pass.
Jim Shooter was a really good editor, but even he missed the Daredevil Wolverine claw thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those things are going to happen, but I mean, the thing is it's we almost take it for granted now just how bad editorial screws up and misses something every week. So,
but
hey, that's good to hear, Undead Quinn. That wasn't a crowdfund. I hope I missed, or because Naughty or Nice, I want to say that maybe came out last year, so maybe it was a reprint and Scout. But yeah, any Impossible Jones news is good news. So
no good news is good news. There are books I wanted to read that I heard didn't hit very well. I wanted to read Mary Marvel. She had a book out this year.
That's fun.
Yeah, and it's a G. Willow Wilson book.
Another one?
Wasn't it G. Willow Wilson?
I don't think so. I don't think
no, I don't think so. But
yeah, it's a 4-issue miniseries.
Same time, it wouldn't shock me if it was.
No, it was. I know it wasn't G. Willow Wilson because my only G. Willow Wilson I read was
Josie Campbell.
Yeah,
Josie Campbell.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, like, you know, but they're bringing back Shazam this year or 2023. They're bringing back Billy.
Yeah, that's Jim Sorensen says that it's Wade Shazam is the 23 book that he's looking forward to.
Yeah,
it's
quirky, and it's like I said, it's not a Mary Sue thing. Everybody thinks it's gonna be. I was reading it. I read it through it's her. She wanted to go off to college, and then Billy is dealing with something else going on now. So basically, he doesn't have time. He's trying to fix other stuff. So he sends power he has to let her be because we still need someone to guard, basically help protect. So she gets stuck being it. She doesn't want it. She just wants to be college. She's finally happy to get away from all the responsibility. She can go to a nice college, and then she's stuck with all the responsibility. So she ends up getting kicked out of her old college, her new college, and she has to go to this crappy rundown university center while trying to figure out because her parents get kidnapped, and now she's trying to mend a relationship with her rest of her siblings. Everything she tries to do ends up failing. So it's a complete opposite of a Mary Sue. Like I said, I mean, I guess most people are just upset because this is dumb. She shouldn't be, the main thing. It should be Billy. People love Billy. I understand it. But Billy's coming back. Now, you want to talk about books that really pissed me off?
What?
Was after Spencer's run, like I say, Spencer had a really kind of a rocky run, and then all this Zeb Wells, all this other crap, Spider-Man Beyond and all this stuff. And not only do they have to shit on Peter, they have to ruin Ben as well. They just could be happy with one Spider-Man being bad. They had to ruin the other one.
Were they trying to hype up a female character?
Well, right now, the only character I can think of being,
because that's usually it, right? We're bringing in this female character, so we need to make all the male characters look bad, or
well, he's partnered up with a female character. If I read the blurbs right,
I know that Peter had radioactive blood poisoning. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh, really? After 60 years? Here's something that just happened that I would put on the worst thing to happen in comics this year list. Mary Jane gets superpowers. Me and Eric had made a couple of live stream videos about the death of supporting characters and this being a weakness of modern day comics. And I think this is just one more nail in that particular coffin.
Yeah. Well, and what's really dumb is her powers as they are, it's essentially as if she, well, for old folks out there, it's as if she swallowed the hero dial. For youngins, it's as if she swallowed the Ben 10
Really?
Omnimatrix.
They gave her dial H for hero, but whatever she needs, she has.
Well, yes and no. It's some, because I, you know, when I saw it, I was like, okay, and so I had to go look up the issue, and it's basically when she needs something, it's like she reaches out, and it's literally a slot machine almost in terms of ask for a power, and they literally show slot machine tumblers.
Good Lord.
Like I said,
and then she gets powers or whatever, but it's, you know, kind of random, but it's quote unquote whatever she needs at the time.
And like I said, I feel bad for Jed McKay because he's forced to write this dark web nonsense. He wrote the last one, Mary Jane Black Cat team up, Wizzle writes. Now it's just like he's forced to keep the narrative that MJ and Peter can't like each other or whatever, you know. So I don't
think it's going to be allowed to kind of write and imply that Peter gets a threesome in this.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised they have him get with Spider-Gwen.
Okay. Tevia brought up Tim Drake. We talked about Tim Drake at the very beginning, but I think it's time to address the Superboy in the room. I'm not calling him Superman. I am actually okay. I know. Okay, it's the Germans. The Germans aren't going to bomb Pearl Harbor. However, I am encouraging you guys, everyone, to not only do this but to share this. Don't call him Superman. Refuse it. In every freaking writing, call him Superboy. It's freaking ridiculous.
I don't even call him that. I'll just call him John Kent.
Or that, yes. But I'm sorry. The whole there's 52 of every character only dilutes the main character. And they really don't like the real main characters. Have you ever seen modern day comic book writers write about Batman? They fucking hate him. And I'm sorry, Superboy is Superboy, and that book sucked. It wasn't even a little bit either. Yeah. If you read through that book, you get, what was his Bernard or Bruno or whatever his boyfriend's name. In all honesty, Bruno. I don't care.
Actually, you had it right the first time. It is Bernard.
Yeah.
They join a goddamn terrorist organization.
It's Gossamer. Get it right.
They join a terrorist organization. I'm sorry, if you're going to say, unless you do our political bidding, we're going to do this and it's violence or destruction, that's literally terrorism. And oh my gosh.
But don't worry though about so little Jonathan Kent.
It was so poorly done.
DC, Philip Kennedy Johnson saved us all. He brought in 2 other little kids that basically have the same powers as Kryptonians. They were on Warworld, but they have blue heat vision. They're from the CW Superman universe.
Okay, here is something that literally happened in a Superboy book. So there's this monster and it's coming towards the city, and Superboy kind of goes out. Little boy's like, "Are you gonna kill the monster?" Superboy flies down to the little boy. Now, we don't call them monsters. To him, he's not evil. And you got to understand other people and other things' points of view.
See, I bet John Kent believes that orcs are an allegory for black people. So
yeah, that actually happened, guys. That did happen in a Superboy comic book. It was freaking horrible. That was one that's one of the books I read this year that was horrible because I was always going to, and I did make a few videos on them. I never post them. That's going to change in the new year. But it was god awful. And there's another book, kids, I have to tell you is really bad that I also read so I could make bad reviews, bad comic beatdowns, and I never posted them. Batgirls. Batgirls, kids. I read damn near every issue of Batgirls, and I can tell you that is a chore. What really gets me, however, is they aged Stephanie Brown to 14. Think about that for a moment, kids. Think about when Tim Drake was dating her, and think about that for a moment, kids.
So, Captain Frugal, I need to come on the channel and defend your book.
Might as well. What, Batgirls?
He was reading it. He said it was so-so. It wasn't bad, wasn't good. He was like, it was there. He's kind of enjoying it a little bit.
Look, there were a couple of issues I would say were not horrible. It was creepy as fuck. And we have and now we have a groomer Tim Drake. Go figure.
Yeah. No, well, I can't let this go since Maranya is, in the chat. I mean, 2022 is the year we learned that Tony Stark is a furry.
There you go. 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Stark, the billionaire who can literally get any woman, including Black Widow. And
what is up with Marvel and the
why are they giving us their kinks, for freaking hell's sake?
You don't look at the new books, but there's been so many different cat covers where everybody's cats. They did it for Avengers. They did it for
because Marvel's hired nothing but cat moms, for God's sakes.
I guess, yeah.
Wine ants and cat moms. I mean, again, Tevye brought up the thing about how he hates that, Marvel's continued to keep Peter and Mary Jane separate. Well, part of that is because they continue to hire, writers for Spider-Man that have broken relationships. I mean, again, so classic, you write what you know. Well, if all you know are terrible relationships,
well, we already know
you're not going to write people together.
There you go.
We already know that Black Cat is bisexual, which is crazy because whenever you go kiss a girl, you're with girls now. But she's still, and in Jen McKay's book, she's still pining over Peter a little bit. So it's like, maybe he doesn't get the memo. Maybe he's out the door soon. Who knows? But I'm just saying, like, I'm waiting for these people. They're like, we don't want Peter. Like, these people are writing Spider-Man. They're gonna have Black Cat and Mary Jane be an item. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, I guess have they said who this guy is that Mary Jane supposedly married and is raising kids with?
I don't know. They're married. I think they're just dating. But I love how Jen McKay, I'm just the whole Jen McKay like, have you told Peter, Black Cat, Madam J, she's like, have you told Peter Parker? He's like, no, don't tell him. Like, but yet you told the guy who you don't even know and are living with a relationship about your powers. And then we find out at the end of the book, spoilers for anybody who's actually going to read the book. You probably won't. Most of you don't even read Marvel or DC books anymore because you're just sick of it. But so the end, it's basically the demon from Limbo. Belle, whatever her name was, the one that was with what's her name? Remember the X-Men went to Limbo and Uncanny X-Men? I forgot what his name is.
Yeah. Like what was that? 160?
Yeah. The one, Magic's enemy. Yeah, her enemy, the demon guy. He shows up at the end of the book. And because apparently Ben Reilly went so freaking evil when they erased his in Spider-Man Beyond, they erased his memories of Uncle Ben. That's why he's evil, because without Uncle Ben, Peter goes evil. He has no other moral guidance, not even other memories he have. It's just being with other Aunt May, who's sweet as hell. Maybe she just drove him bad, but either way. So what I'm understanding from Dark Web right now is we have the clone Ben and his girlfriend, the other redhead chick, they decided to open a rift to hell. So right now we have New York and Limbo merging together. I'm sorry, Magic would have slayed him instantly, unless she's been somehow forgotten that she exists.
Yeah, she's busy off world somewhere, or she's on Krakoa and couldn't care less.
Oh yeah, she's probably scissoring with what's her name, Kitty Pryde.
How dare you?
And Peter's watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's like I said, it's just so stupid. I mean, the reason not just the fact that they're cat moms. I think these people, I've showed you articles before, 2015. I think these people are just stupid. They don't know how to write a story with Peter and MJ being together. It's just too hard for them, too complicated. And I understand you want to leave your mark on comic books, so you want to shake it up a little bit. But not if you're doing the same shit everyone else is doing. You're not doing anything different.
Well, once again, though, as I say, that goes back to they can't write it. They don't know how to write that because they haven't had that. They don't know what a good, happy, stable relationship looks like.
Then you fire them. It's somebody who knows how to do it. It's that job. It's
yeah. Good luck with that. I was going to throw in too. I mean, another worst here, especially with Marvel, is I believe all 3 of these books have been out, or some part of 2022 is this awful trend of doing books where they take one of their favorite characters and what if they were every other superhero? So they started this with Gwen Stacy with the Gwenverse. Yeah. Then we had the immortal what if Miles Morales was every hero in the Marvel universe? And then, now we've finished off the year with the Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah, that's right. Gail Simone did that. Yeah.
Yeah. That is more or less kind of doing the same thing. None of them are good. And you could argue that at least one of them is downright offensive. But it's a horrible trend, and I can't wait to see in 2023 when we get the what if Riri Williams was every character in the Marvel universe.
Just judging, you guys see the statues right up there. I've shown them off. I like Aquaman, but much like Superboy, they decided to go the same direction with Aquaman. And so you have this guy, you have the Aqua Kid, whatever his name is, Aqualad.
Rune Jackson Hyde. He was a normal gay before in 2007, and they decided to just make him he's a character of
Jackson Lanning. Oh,
but yeah, it was so horribly bad. It was a bad book. It really was, and it just I honestly think that they don't like people who aren't white. The way they write them, they can't possibly think so.
Well, we know that Marvel has a history of being racist to characters. We know one who's had her name stolen at least 2 times, kicked to the side. Mm-hmm. She's now
Monica Rambeau.
Exactly. Ding, ding, ding. You win the no prize.
Okay, and another one that, since I'm on the Aquaman kick, the first issue of Black Manta has his female assistant bad-mouthing him and talking him down, like literally Black Manta backed off from her because she is that strong woman that Black Manta backed down from her, and it didn't get better. It wasn't a good book either.
Oh, and if you want to know why Monica Rambeau looks the way she does in that book, go take a look at a picture of Eve Ewing.
Oh, really? They did that again. It's like, wait, you did Riri Williams because you look like you have the same hair, so now you look like right. Oh well.
I mean, and just I saw it. Yeah, I flipped through a couple pages of that book, and just seeing her with her hair up in a bun, it's just like, you really want to make her look like she's 50? I mean, what are you doing here? And again, I mean, you talk about, at one point was a great character. I mean, go back and read her introduction story in Spider-Man. Was that annual 11 or 16? And the annual number 16. The whole thing is right there. I mean, she's a strong character, but of course she's a little unsure of herself because she's just gotten these powers, and of course the first thing she kind of does is electrocute and knock out Spider-Man. But then she recovers, and within that book, it's like, hey, you've got a good character here. And then we've seen her in different incarnations. I mean, Next Wave is quirky and funny because I mean that's just what Warren Ellis does with superhero books. But she's had great moments, and then again, Marvel 2022. We're gonna have a book that features a black woman as the lead character in a miniseries. Okay, let's go hire a black woman instead of hire somebody who actually knows and gives a damn about the character. And I think that's the other thing.
Just in case some douchebag is listening in, I don't think we've got the douchebags listening. He's not saying black women can't write. Shut Shut the fuck. All right. Okay. He's not saying that. So, okay.
No, LK is saying it doesn't matter.
That's my disclaimer. My disclaimer is you're fucking retard if you think that he was like, oh, he just said that. But no, we're not.
Whatever your whatever your nationality is, whatever you identify as, if you suck at writing, you suck at writing. There's no sugarcoating it.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, we've also seen this. I mean, too, time and time again. You know, with Marvel, and I mean, and DC too, because you know, you go back to that wonderful, I guess we'll call it Mags Visaggio's exit interview from the world of comics.
I keep forgetting Mags was a thing until
where it was all about trying to promote the one shot she did for Jenny Hex, which was actually good. And instead, you know, there's a great line there, and shoot, I can't remember what character she said she was interested in writing, but you know, Bendis, who was kind of controlling this part of the DC universe, said, "No, I can't let you write that. How about you go write, you know, Jenny Hex instead?" And Jenny Hex being, you know, gay, you know, just basically pigeonholed and shoehorned the creator. And now
but let's defend Brian Michael Bendis for once. In this climate, if he had given Jenny Hex to anyone who wasn't a Mags Visaggio, he would have gotten burned.
True, but at the same time, she wanted to, good or bad. I mean, I'm sure actually if she had gotten to write the character, and I forget what it was, it probably would have been, you know, bad. But at least it was a character that she wanted to do, and unless she was going to change the person, it was a regular straight character. You know, it would have been a chance to see her, see her write something normal.
Yeah, I'm not using Twitter's language, dude. Mags, I'm sorry. Mags is a dude that bought fake tits.
So here's some good news. Apparently, Action Comics, they restored, the secret identity for Superman.
Oh, that's nice.
Apparently, Lex Luthor's behind it. That's all I know. You have to talk to Zach about it.
So Lex just mind wipes everybody, I guess.
That's what I was thinking. As like, because they don't have, I mean, you who would do that? Be Dr. Fate.
Have a good one, Jim. See you tomorrow. Where basically we're doing this, but it's at the end. We're going to be talking about everything, movies, comics, if y'all want to again, and whatever.
Yeah,
it's going to be a New Year's live stream, and
I almost feel like
as well.
Maranya brings up that Megs wanted to write for Connor Kent, and maybe they just didn't want Connor Kent having his own book because maybe Megs was going to write him basically being a good superhero. We don't know. Megs wrote a good Jenny Hex.
And a horrible Dazzler. Let's not forget that.
I know.
He doesn't have a clear record.
Gail Simone had one of the best Birds of Prey. And then
I would argue that Mags wrote one good book in her entire tenure, and it was that Jenny Hex one shot.
Yeah, you're right, though. You're right. Gail Simone, Villains United, Birds of Prey, both freaking excellent. Batgirl, very strong. Then she did Plastic Man.
You know what I think it is, and it's exactly what it is. I know what it is because now
Gail Simone discovered social media.
Yeah.
Well, no. Back then, when Gail Simone and they were all writing the Birds of Prey and stuff, you know, there was editors. They were the woke thing wasn't really a thing. If it was kind of, it wasn't really on Twitter. No one was really even blowing up. Sure, companies catered to gays, you know, or no. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna name LGBTQ because there's too many of you. You're all called gay. So once they realize there's no editors, now she doesn't have to. She realized I can get paid as long as I bitch enough. They're gonna keep me on, and they can do their agenda stuff now. So that's basically what's happened to comic books is that they basically allowed the crazy people who you're basically the Karens. Yes, there are male Karens too. But like I said, I don't know. As far as I guess the issue that Zach reviewed the other day, the Action Comics one, said he loved it. My friend John Comics Kids, you know, he usually reads some of the books that I don't read. You know, like some, but he's kind of calling back. He was reading through the Action Comic books, the world stuff, and he said he was actually enjoying it. He read those 12.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And Josh Williamson's taking over next month on Superman. So what's to say? Maybe if they could actually fix the character. Tom Taylor's book, Son of Kal-El, was canceled. The current rumors right now, I guess West had a video talking about Tom Taylor's pissed off. He's gonna treat because as soon as Jeremy Adams' contract is gonna. This is all rumors. Now take a grain of salt. I don't know West personally.
Well, I thought Tom Taylor had come back out to say no, it's not canceled. And that it's going to get rebooted or something. Which
number one
shocked me because that's something else that especially the big two has just been guilty of over and over again. Not even rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. It's hey, this book got no sales, so let's reboot it with the exact same creative team. And I'm sure this
Tevye, I'm with Tevye. I don't believe rumors. West seems like a cool deal, but I'll wait till I see it. Because the rumor was that he was so pissed off his book got canceled that he wanted Jeremy Adams' title. He wanted to write Flash, and since Jeremy Adams' contract is almost up, end of the year. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that Jeremy Adams has been so beloved. His book was on a top 30 comic book list, best of the year on the Mary Sue. Everyone's loving Linda West Park or whatever Park West.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, no. Well, and I said, dude, she's been a better character. She's written better than Josh Lewin was writing Iris. Iris was just kind of like a stick in the mud in that first arc, from Rebirth. Yep. As much as I love Iris West, Iris West, Alan, but I don't know. Like I said, I hope that Jeremy M stays on. He seems like a really cool dude. He's one of the only few writers I know that doesn't really talk about anything political, doesn't get into that stuff. I'm surprised he hasn't been blacklisted because he posts taking his daughters to church on Instagram and on Twitter and stuff, and just he's a family guy, He's not a Peter Griffin, but he's family focused. And he actually writes good stuff. Now, I don't know what the sales are for Flash, but Flash was the book that got me into it. Remember, 3 years ago we started doing the Monday Night. Yep. We've got issues. I started reading the Flash, and oh my God, Josh Williams was writing it, and it was great. And I was like, oh, and I rolled my eyes because I had no idea who this Jeremy Adams was a couple of years, when he came in last year, I think it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, really getting rid of Josh Williamson? No, they already tried the Rune Wally, but then, like I said, I've stuck with that book. There's an awesome supporting cast. To me, it just feels like kind of like the Peter Parker we used to have, happily married, just enjoys life. He has friends, and just, spends time with Mary Jane, just fights crime, and goes to work. That's what YLS is doing.
Yeah, I just wanted to address something Tevye said. I don't think we're going to have another comic book crash per se because there's not very far to fall.
Yeah, I agree. The whole thing about the 90s crash was it was being falsely elevated. A lot of people were buying 6-8 copies of a single book. You had your speculators from baseball cards come in thinking comic books were the new thing to put their kids through college. It really, what you had Marvel wanting to drown out all competition, so they came up with like 90,000 titles, which they're kind of doing now. It really is a different thing than it used to be. But there you go.
Yeah, I mean, again, what I think you're going to see happen as the economy continues to kind of contract here, some bills are going to come due, and we're going to see which companies, actually have the resources to pay off those bills, and which ones are going to go the way of Aftershock. I mean, certainly, Marvel and DC aren't going anywhere because they've got, mega corporations as sugar daddies, but some of the smaller ones, you know, it'll be interesting to see. One that won't be going anywhere is Zenescope. So, I mean, they've honestly, if you're a small publisher, you should go look at the blueprint for what Zenescope has done in terms of cultivating an audience and you know, putting out books that people enjoy. Yeah, it is that, but I mean, you know, hey, they listen to their fans. Yeah, you know, they have huge live streams. I know Venkman's there if he stepped away for a second.
I'm here.
But I know like once every couple months or something, they do like usually like in concert with an upcoming convention or something they'll go to. They do these auction live streams, or not any auction live stream. I mean, just, you know, selling live streams where it's like, you know, hey, we've got, you know, this limited edition and, you know, this gift bag, this grab bag or whatever, and, you know, this one's, you know, we're going to price it 50, and this one we're going to price it at 20, and, you know, whatever, and, you know, put down in the chat, you know, which ones you want. And I mean, they sell those out like crazy. So they've found a formula, and I think they'll definitely survive. Yep. Whereas some of the other companies, not sure.
Well, let's see. Speaking of auctions, we're going to be doing our auction on Monday this week. Same thing as last week. It's a holiday, so I figure, okay, let's have a hangout rather than an auction. We'll do the auction on Monday again, and we'll resume normal auction time the following week. Tomorrow, however, join us. I'm going to break a rule here, and it should be fun, should be entertaining. There will be some guidelines, but it should be entertaining. We're going to be talking about we're going to continue the discussion about the best and the worst of the years, maybe bring it over to some movies as well as things that people remember about comics, people who missed this conversation. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we do. And hey, if you want, we can even share what'd you get for Christmas, that kind of stuff, because we haven't had that conversation yet, and that's always kind of cool. I got hot sauce, and so no, actually, my daughter did end up getting me something. She got me the Savage She-Hulk omnibus, so that's awesome. It's the first 25 issues plus a Marvel 2-in-1, so that is an awesome.
I got the DC Vault Comic Book Museum.
We could show stuff off like that, and it'll be a good time. And maybe we'll do a tier list. We didn't do the 2022 TV shows, and that one is waiting to be done.
Austin P is asking for some pre-90s DC.
Pre-90s what?
Basically, anything before the 90s. You need DC comics from the 80s or 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and while you're looking at those, Marani had a really good comment, and I think it's true too. She says, "What depresses me is what is worse than a bad book is a book which has tiny glimmers of good ideas, but the execution is handled badly." And she says, "I've dealt with that since 2016."
Oh,
Iron Man,
sorry. I guess that's in that.
We got Power. These are the like the $2, the $5, and the big dogs.
Is that Archie Goodwin?
This is I do not.
So there was another Power Man after that, right? It was Power Man Iron Fist for the rest of
it. I can't read the
Rage on Doomsday.
Right there we go.
Ron Wilson and Chin. That might be the cover artist, but I think Power Man became Power Man Iron Fist for like the throughout the 80s and the rest of the
okay.
JR there.
Yep. Ooh, that's another thing. Is JR even on Spider-Man anymore? Or did he get kicked off?
No, I think his is
over, right?
His thing's over. Yeah, but just finish up on what Marani said. I mean, the two examples that come to mind was when I was reading Captain Marvel and Spider-Woman.
Nice, that's cool.
There were glimmers.
I might keep this, by the way.
I would keep it because those are cool.
I've started collecting the facsimile versions, and I might keep this one, but the one that I absolutely am going to keep is this one right here.
Like I said, if I can find the original printing, but not to pay out of my ass for it, I might get it. But like, if I can get it for $4 and it's in better condition than the one I'd be paying more for, I mean, the only thing that sucks is they don't have the ads there. Well, at least not all of them. Some of them don't have the ads. I'm not sure about all the facsimiles.
There you go. Some pre-90s DC.
That's current DC working on Superman.
Little Superboy action.
We don't see Superboy action anymore on this channel.
Well, this is a little bit of a problem, but yeah. Some Legion of Superheroes. A little bit more Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah. Well, I see some folks speculating. Undead Quinn, IDW has been a shuffling corpse for a while, but basically they will shuffle along until there are no more investors willing to buy.
IDW has been dead for years now.
Yeah, until they can't find any more investors to prop up the Ponzi scheme. Dark Horse, it was already bought by somebody else, so they're gonna be around for at least a little bit longer. Yeah, Indie Comics Jones. Yeah, Robin Hood was definitely one of my favorites. Help me out here, Venkman. Is it Dark Knight?
For which one?
Zenoscope.
I don't
know. The lawyer.
Oh, it's called the Black Knight.
Black Knight. Thanks. Yeah.
It's Dark Knight. You're off by company.
Yeah, I was close. Black, dark.
Current books to read. I'm loving by Zenoscope is it's been Robin Hood, Belle, Hellchild. It's fun.
Yeah, I gotta tell you something. I love these covers on these old war books. They are freaking awesome.
I might start digging into those. I'm loving the current Sergeant Rock right now.
But yeah, and I'm in all honesty, I can't read England Teen December 30th, 2022. Did I say that? But yeah, I do enjoy them too. What's in between the covers is awesome. This is good old-fashioned Silver Age blonde-haired talks to fish Aquaman with go-go checks.
He's being attacked by a monkey with a spear.
King Aqua Baby.
Underwater.
Yeah.
And King Aqua Baby says, "Thumbs down." Kill my dad.
This is one of the big dogs right here. This is the first appearance of Kiss in comic books.
Oh, okay. No wonder he's going crazy.
And probably the big dog this week is What If #1.
Oh yeah, and that's where she ends up going for Namor at the end.
Yes,
all because of Spider-Man.
I have mentioned you have until Monday if you bought one of the wall books and you haven't paid. I'm going to give you until Monday. I thank everybody who helped me out. The bills are paid. Little extra, bought the collection that you see here. That for the next auction, I appreciate it. But they are my wall books, so if you don't pay them, they're going back up on the wall. I say if they're not paid for within a week, they go back on the wall. With the wall books, I'm freaking serious about it. So there you go. Let's see yeah, there's one more of the big dogs here, and this is Vampirella issue number 80.
You don't have to show them that. It's already going to me.
No. It's automatically going to you.
Yeah, and
look
Eric
at that. It's got a nice. It's in good condition. Yeah, I think there's a little problem right there.
Is that a Frazetta cover?
It might be. It's a painted cover, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has a lot of characteristics like that. And hey, look who popped in the chat. Happy New Year, Eric.
What's up, Eric?
I guess bye.
Hey, Fireheart, how's it going? And bye.
Bizarro World?
Say again?
Just Bizarro World?
Bizarro World. Oh, anyway, once again, Monday is going to be the auction. Tomorrow we're going to do New Year's hangout, a New Year's hangout drunk stream. No, we're gonna have a good time then, and we're gonna be talking about whatever the hell, more stuff, good and bad, as far as what came out, and maybe we'll do a tier list for the TV shows since VENKMAN will be with us. He's the one that watches everything. You know, I've seen some of them, but not all of it.
Wait,
say again.
I'll be with you where?
The hangout tomorrow.
No, I won't.
You're not?
I'm out of town.
You're out of town. What
New Year's
town are you in?
Eve, man. I'm going by my friend's house.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, well, at least I'll be here. And anybody else is invited. Well, this is what I do on holidays, especially.
So you'll have LK.
Yeah. I'll have I have LK?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna be flying solo.
It depends. I probably won't get here till about
all right,
9 or 10.
9 or 10.
I'll say Eric's joining you tomorrow. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. But thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun. Once again, sorry, Jim. I didn't think it was you. Sorry for blocking you, but I appreciate it because you triggered, and sometimes a good rant is really good, and that felt like it was a really good rant. And let's see, thank you very much to Maranya for keeping things straight, and she will, of course, she will be the boss tomorrow to make sure that I don't go overboard and piss my wife off.
Maranya, I'll get you the Iron Man book you want. Just let him go.
And to everyone, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night, kids.
Peace.